minutes. I'll keep going. I'll go on for about 16 minutes. I'll keep going with slight pauses. My gratitude to all who've turned up. We all won, and everyone has something special to offer to this world. And my gratitude to David Leo Suwa, my friend Madhava, for providing this platform for Nema and myself. My very special thanks to Nema, the ever-vibrant poet, for turning up, and I'm grateful for everyone and everything. Thank you. You hold my gaze above the crimson red of the setting sun. Beneath the shade of the peony blossoms, the spring wind augments the intimacy of hearts clasped together in deep serenity. I long to blend in you, the way scents blend in flowers, cascading a redolence to my breath, serving to remind me of your astonishing beauty. I remain captivated, the stars shooting silently like fireflies as the nocturnal hue enters. The blue moon dances with the grace of celestial nymphs. I flow with luster, flooding the very fabric of my soul. You hold my gaze amidst the Andromeda glitter of heaven. My heart is bemused by a plethora of grandeur, stabbing its core with shimmering lights. This dance of love. Love dances endlessly to the melodies of its own songs in silence. Movement is everywhere, and the universe dances in harmony to the symphonies of its own rhythms. Death is a dance where emotions weep, hearts grieve and sob in a rain-filled abyss, unfamiliar with the immortality of the soul. Are you looking for wonderment? The caterpillar spins a chrysalis, then metamorphoses into a butterfly, which dances in circling loops, spontaneously following the music of awe and pageantry. My soul rejoices, bewildered by the magic of creation. Love dances like an actor on a stage to his own lila, its divine play, much sweeter than the genius of Plisetskaya in Swan Lake, weaving its own songs, waltzing its own finesse and majesty from which the ballerina feeds. Amidst all this, Gaia spins on our axis, glimmering with joy and precision, feeding up the planets, the power of the constellations, and the charming allure of Andromeda, moons, and nourishing sun. I once danced all night, attracted by the love I felt to be in the physical, the alluring ways of women, they too dancing, sometimes morosely, with the unseen and subtle competition offered by the varying wiles of the fairer sex to assuage their insecurities and minds. Have you got inner vision? Can you feel its cadences? Day and night creation dances like rows of golden flares glistening in the darkness, even as the lapis lazuli of moonlight glows in iridescent grandeur, and the illustrious dawn prepares to heal our maladies, awaiting its next tempo. Nureyev moved with an epitome of grace, a subtlety of dance unparalleled in modern history. He knew how to blend with the breath of breaths, the mantra of being and the om of emptiness, the immortal journey from the beloved who narrates and navigates the supernal dance. Yes, this is an adventure of sorts, as I am separated from the beloved, crawling, walking, or waltzing my challenges, striving to rediscover my way home. From darkness to light. Searching, searching, oh my beloved, I have been searching for you for millennia. Lost in an ocean of doubt and loneliness, deceit stabbed at my heart, while insecurity became friends with the sharp knife of gossip. Lost in an arena of tangled webs, I was a mess in this world of dunya, chained in my tainted castle, and lost in a maze that brought me pain. I reached out to the bedroom chandeliers, but you seemed to be asleep, even as complacency sat on my despair. I descended the gorge of darkness, searching for meaning, yet carrying the fear of 1,000 shadows, until one day, at the end of my human capacity, I reached out to the celestial heavens, kneeling like a saint with cup hands, entreating to the light. You came, O merciful one, and the night in my abyss was vanquished by a bewitching moonlight. My river of tears of 1,000 sorrows became all but dissipated as I bask in the incandescent rays of your effulgent light. O light, my light, what a loving response to my burdens. Now you bring solace to my afflictions with the healing rays of the unspoken. You unravel the cords of my heart with the mellifluous breath of thy lips. The scent of your celestial wine has become the agony of my longing, and even the song bearers at dawn blends with thy mellifluous flute within. O my sweetheart, O light in my darkness, I am unworthy of thy love. I once knew only the path of self-infliction. Desires raged within and tormented my soul. I was fettered to desires and greed, pressing the red buttons of hate and self-destruction. Yet you carried me. I was like worn-out shoes with clothes in tatters, a bucket so filled with holes I could hardly carry water. You came, a divine alchemist, bemusing me with your goodness and erasing my pain. Now I see only your golden luster, filling my soul with boundless light. My heart is like a camera and lens through which the soul speaks, utilizing the senses. I awake in gratitude, feeling the wonder of joy in silence, the hush of stillness, the chirping of birds. The awakening dawn takes me to daybreak, even as the cool breeze blows and the willows dance in obeisance, paying homage to the majesty of love. Starlings jump from branches to foliage, singing to my soul. My eyes drink of the beauty of sunflowers as the sun peeps through. It is autumn, yet tulips and daffodils still sing to the orchards, folding their petals as palms to the perennials. They pay reference to the redolence of jasmines, the sweet hush of snow-white lilies, and the fragrance of lavenders. The inner camera of my heart takes photographs of the rising sun shimmering through my window. It lends so immaculate that I hear God laughing through the scenery, enjoying its own game of grandeur and jumping with joy. At dusk, the sunset speaks to me of love, of the glories of creation, even as a rainbow floods with the horizon in a pageantry of colors, and the crimson sky frolics with transformation. She turns dusk to a twilight reverie as the day goes into repose and Andromeda peeps through the heavens. The stars still waltz in the darkness, even when the shadows are dense, and Orion glistens with luster, even as the indigo moon wanes, and Gaia makes ready to continue her cycle of sunrise to sunset, with the restfulness of sleep in between. Yes, my heart is like a camera and lens, for it takes in the travails of war also, of conflicts and sufferings created by human greed, either unwilling or unable to learn the abysmal lessons of avarice and power. To know that division will lead only to insecurity, fear, and the pain of trauma. Yet it is love's world, and the Holy Mother is always in charge of a precise creation, changes the twigs of a branch here, the dying embers of life's ignorance elsewhere, only to ultimately ushering another kingdom. Before the downward spiral starts anew, in this ever glorious tango of life. Be brave, my sweet, sweet angels. Parents love their children, yes, but greater love has no one than a creator who essentially lays down its spark in each life form, infinitely more than the shepherd for his sheep or the gardener his fruits and vegetables necessary for an income to live. For the supreme alchemist loves us, a painter preparing like Da Vinci his Mona, so we become masterpieces prior to arriving at the gates of the celestials. No, I will not use outer photos, for my heart is like a camera and lens through which my soul speaks, utilizing the senses, keeping its own record of my joys and sorrows, my growth and inner development, only to advance my life's lessons so I will eventually find my way home. Revelations. The iridescence of the moon has no brush, yet she paints the night with a luminous glow. The stars have no voice for magical songs, yet they sing in the stillness of silence. The warmth of the sun kissing my cheeks awakens within my ancient smile like the golden heart of a Samaritan. Nature can be so beautiful. It commands serenity from my lips and even makes the heart graceful like a ballerina. No more the dark smells pervading my loneliness and guilt. The light of your luster washes my breath with 1,000 rays of glimmer. Took me a while to comprehend that you raised me like Lazarus once more. Attempting to transform my own nature, the sweet nicotine rebelled within my sodden state, and the toxic fumes of surreal experiments only hastened my demise. Yet you came in my predicament, shielding me from destruction. Now, whenever I think of you, my face glows like fireflies, and the heavens blush, even as the dark night whispers bird songs in the magnificence of the soul. Mesmerized by the rays of thy resplendence, I listened to the symphony of the wind. It spoke of time past and whispering dreams, of the pain of millennial sorrows, the tenderness of love. I lay on the beauty of twilight, enchanted by the light of perennial entities which kissed my soul. The night sky held my gaze. We danced on the crest of crimson sunsets as the wind continued her illumining conversations. She exalted your magical smile, the miracle of sunrise, and the moon kissed my cheeks as I bowed in sacred gratitude. She sang of the glories of man, of the undaunted courage of a woman's sacrifice, and my heart became a field of prayer. She talks of life's struggles, of how a light shines in Jerusalem, even when the shadows are dense, that we can only measure the darkness by the rays of an effulgence we once knew. I listened. My tears became a raiment for you, my beloved. Have wine, you say. Go forth and love. For are not your desires the same adversity that will fashion you into gold? And how shall you laugh if you know no weeping? Be patient, for the weaving of my inner alchemy never ceases. She spins and spins a zillion revolutions until every indiscretion is wiped clean and the yarn returns to its state of grandeur. You are that yarn. You are that grandeur. Even though you may not feel it, I see 1,000,000,000 candles glittering in your coal. Then your cheeks softened and the wind blew softly, gently caressing my spirit. The fire of my essence burned with the setting sun. Fear not, you said, before becoming silent. I am with you always, even unto the edge of eternal time. My last poem, The Light That We Are. The womb is a sunbeam for babies, and mom herself was a beacon of sacrifice, concern, resilience, and fortitude for all her earthly life. Our inner beauty danced with the moonbeams of heaven. So too we are all lighthouses, rays of bliss infinite, invoked from the same life source, manifesting in stars and moons, rainbows and horizons, sunflowers and butterflies, concealed in the cocoon of love's immortal breath. I am a spark of the light divine, walking, jogging, or running towards my destined source. I am a strand of music, a mariner in search of my harp to reawaken my own inner harmonies. I am a chord in the lute of lutes, that which manifests in the breath of starlings, sparrows, and canaries, waltzes with petunias and roses in the serenity and rhythm of spring's unfurling splendor. My sweet, sweet angels, outer challenges are only conduits for triggering our inner struggles. Never forget that you're an immortal silence containing the sweetest melodies. All is as it should be, and in time you will see that the price for love, lover, and loving was never enough. The thief moves in the darkness, even as the seer mimics the light, yet nothing happens without the will of the higher love. Many fears are born out of loneliness and insecurities, so let us empathize with those who find afflictions difficult to bear. Know, however, that the light is always within, and to cast outer blame is to ignore the most serious questions, whispering in silence from the inner voice to facilitate growth. Lantern says, be grateful to the one who triggers your hurt, for adversity whispers within, so we may become candles of delight. How did you learn to laugh if you knew no weeping? The beautiful vase was molded from the messy clay of a potter. Know that victimizers were once victims, now carrying the shadows of anguish and remorse, gifted by life for the ascent of the soul. For learning lessons takes time, and love's plans for our ascent often hide thorns in red roses of desires. One caught in a famine understands best the value of food, even as a man once lost in an arid desert becomes better able to point the way. His memory an oasis for the sweetest waters of life. There's a time for night to cast a shadow in constellations, a time for the sparkling moon to wane. There's a time for the dawn to blanket the darkness with a canopy of light, a time for the awakening of a new and glorious sunrise. There's a time for chaos in the foundations of a building, yet know for certain that the blueprint hides the majesty of a Taj Mahal or the intricacies of the hanging gardens of Babylon. Tulips fade into repose in winter, but rise again in the grandeur of spring. We're all symphonies of love, from you to the snow-white moon, from the sun to the radiant flower, revealing its grandeur. Seamos la luz, let us be the light. Pain is only a storehouse of memories, sometimes laced with guilt and regrets, the crashing of egos, so necessary for one's inner tree to bend, offering its fruits with the virtues of humility. For it is in giving joy to others that we grow. In soulful service lies the light of enduring love. Let us be the light. Seamos la luz, knowing that experiences are necessary as they help us to grow, empowering its soul, striving to find its way home. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Thank you, the Lantern Carrier, everyone. Thank you, Manatita. We are all lighthouses. And I love how you're running toward your destined source. Absolutely. The source within. And this wonderful exhortation, never forget that you are an immortal silence. And then you have all these melodies contained in it. Magic words. Thank you very much for your incantations. And I love how you
You're
follow
welcome.
the form of the great poet saints of India, where like at the end of a poem they would say, Eknath says, and it would be like the final statement, and you have Lantern Carrier says before you deliver the ultimate line that
Thank you.
carries
Thank
all the
you.
absolutely. All right. So now let me get the recording stopped and we're gonna go on to Naima. One moment.